Good morning. We're going to start with our shoulder rolls. Nice and easy. Your weights are handy. Bend those knees a little, get a little bit more movement, adding on. Add those elbows. And then we'll come down, hands on your thighs, roll through your cat. Inhale through your cow. One more time, rolling cat. Inhaling cow. While you're in this cow position, pull your abs in, push your weight back in your tailbone. So heels and hips, and then using that support, reach down, grab your weights back to your thighs, lift your chest, lift your chest, lift your chest. And you can stay in this wide stance for now. Let's do an upright row. Roll your shoulders back, pull them down, and come back down. And then we're going to add on to this, going into a wider stance. And we're going to come down as we come up. Everything comes up. Everything down and everything up. Two more. Last one, we're going to stay down, bring your hands here. If you want to, lift your heels up, get a little bit of love going in those calves and feeling those quads a little more. We're going to go 1 inch deeper, 1 inch up, tiny little range of motion. If you want a little extra challenge, bring those arms out, thumbs up, only if that works for you and your shoulders. And then you can add the little lift of the arms if you want. Again, a little bit of shoulder work. And relax. Roll those shoulders up, back and down. And then we're going to put all our weight on our right leg, hands back here. And all we're going to do is lift that left leg, hold for 3, 2, and 1, and gently down. Same thing. Try and pause for a couple seconds at the top. And then last one like that. You're going to take both weights, if that's okay with you, and just hold them against that leg. So you're not going to feel a ton of resistance, not as much as if you were lying on your side, but we should get some, as well as some challenge to that balance leg, your right leg. And last one, we're just going to hold that up, press those weights into that leg, holding, 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 and relax. Keep the weights on that side, but take the right leg over the left. Reach through your right arm, try and grow tall from your fingers to your armpit to your hip, and then reach over, and you can allow that left arm to pull you a little deeper. And bring that up. And then our weights, oh, we don't need them yet, but might as well have them here. You can hold them here if you want to. And then we lift that right leg up, we hold and bring it down. Whenever you're ready, you can set those weights on that leg. And last one, we're going to lift it up, hold, and bring it down. Keep the weights in your right hand, left ankle up and over, reach as high as you can, stretching, stretching, then give it a little hinge, and you can allow that right arm to pull you over a bit deeper. Beautiful. All right, let's go ahead and set those weights down as you come down to your seated position. And then grab hold of those hammies, roll yourself down, hug those knees in. Take a little break side to side. And then make sure your weights are where you can reach them. Feet on the ground, starting with ab prep and no weights. Deep breath in. Exhale, float the head, neck, and shoulders off the ground. Inhale, stretch those arms overhead. Exhale, come down. Deep breath in. Exhale to lift. Inhale, stretch and reach. And exhale down. If you want to add a little intensity, grab a single weight. Exhale, lift up. Inhale, arms reach up by your ears as you hold. And then exhale down. Deep breath in. Exhale, lift. Inhale, stretch and reach. Exhale down. You can, of course, leave your head down as those arms reach overhead, keeping those ribs nice and flat. And exhale back. Deep breath in. Exhale, stretch and reach. There's no change in your rib cage. And back. And obviously, if you want, you could add 2 weights. So both weights holding on like that. Deep breath in. Exhale, lift. Inhale, reach up and overhead. Arms by your ears, abs in, ribs in, holding, and down. And of course, you can do that with your head down the whole time, which would look like this. One more. Whatever you're doing, we're holding here. Abs in, ribs flat. Back of the neck is long. Arms are reaching, and relax. All right, let's just bring one weight into each hand. You can have the option, of course, not to do that. Legs in tabletop, meaning knees right above your hips, shins are parallel, hands are right up in the sky, shoulders back and down, head on the ground. Left leg and right arm are going to reach. I want you to think about your right index finger and your left toes being as far away from each other as possible. Right leg, left arm, stretch and reach. So just alternating here. And take a break. We'll hug those knees in. You can put those weights on top of the shins to give yourself a little extra sensation. And then we'll put the weights down and bring our legs into tabletop again. Hands to the sky. Float the head, neck, and shoulders off the ground. Inhale, stretch and reach, double leg stretch. Bend the knees, sweep the arms. We're going to change that arm movement because when we have weights in it, we don't want to sweep. We'll just tap our knees. And of course, your head can be down. And when you're ready, if you want, add that single weight. If you want a little more, you could take one weight below your knees, where the fleshy part of your calves bring the legs closer together, and do it that way. Or you can also add upper body weight. So now you have weights pulling you in 2 directions, arms overhead, legs stretching the other way, creates extra resistance. and reach and hold, pointing, stretching, abs in, and relax. And again, we'll just set those weights on top of the shins to get a little extra stretch here. Then we're going to roll those weights down so they're on top of your ankles. Bring your forehead to your knees. We're going to roll up and stick that balance. Exhale, roll back with control and come back up. Small movement, controlled movement. If rolling side to side or rolling up and down isn't good for you, you can roll side to side. You can do just a couple more. And then next time you come up, go ahead, stick the balance, and then put your feet on the ground. Bring those weights out to the side. Legs are going to go wide. Scoot your hips back. Pull your glutes out from under you. Give yourself a tall posture, and then pull yourself into a stretch. You can start to straighten out those legs if that works out for your spine to stay nice and tall. And then back to center. Knees are bent. Pull those shoulders up, back and down. And we'll do a couple of roll downs. So exhale to hinge back. You can always widen your arms down or out or up or up or up. And lower the hands. Inhale at the top. Exhale, hinge back. Doing something with your arms if you want to add on. Exhale, lower. Inhale. Exhale, adding arms if you want. And back up. Next option is that single weight. Exhale, hinge back. Maybe lift those arms a little bit. Make sure you lower them before you move. Inhale at the top. Exhale to hinge back. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. And if you wanted to, you can go higher or you can add a second weight. Either here, arms go out, and of course lower them before you move. Or if you really wanted to, I'm not going to do it. You could put both weights in one hand and go up. I guess I could do it a little bit. And then relax. And next time, or as you relax, you're just going to let your whole body kind of slouch a little bit, get some flexion, and then hands to the shins, get a little extension. So almost like a seated cat-cow. So roll into the cat, and then inhale into the cow. All right. And then we're going to have an option. So one weight in each hand, palms are facing the sky, knuckles up. Your option is to hinge back and then either do something with those weights or go all the way down for a full roll up. Inhale at the bottom. And then exhale, drag your hands along the ground, pull yourself up with those weights. Exhale to hinge back. Inhale at the bottom. Exhale, come up nice and slowly with control. You can choose not to do that. You can stick with those roll downs if you know that's a better idea, safer for your body. And then next time you come up, you get to stay. And we're going to put both weights in front of us towards the camera as we roll over the screen. Legs are stacked up. Arm is underneath your ear, waistline is lifted. We'll take both weights and put them on the top leg. And then I'm just going to use my palm to hold that in place. Toes apart, heels together. Press open. And just get a nice full range of motion in the clam. And then knees down, heels up in the air, same thing, we push open. and relax. And we'll just take a moment here, give that hip a little bit of love. And we'll flip over to the other side. Knees are stacked. Waistline is lifted, arm is resting right underneath that ear, weights on that top leg. Toes apart, heels together, pivot open. And then we'll do knees down, heels up, and press open. And relax. And again, maybe give those hips a little bit of love. And then we're going to roll over to our abs. Take one of those weights and bring it behind you. Stretch through those fingers. First thing you'll notice is your shoulders may have rolled forward, so let's pull them back and slide them down. Then pull the belly button in, press the pubic bone down, push the toes down, and then from there, just give me the tiniest little lift of your upper body and exhale down. Deep breath in, squeeze the shoulders toward each other, press into the toes and the pubic bone, and down. Deep breath in, exhale, stretch and reach, maybe a tiny lift as you reach through your fingers, and down. And then just relax. Let's go ahead and press back in our shell stretch. Hips sit back on your heels. And then we'll roll through our cow and cat. And then just stick that weight down where your hands will be for our plank. Shoulders out of your ears. Pull the abs in, lift up pre-plank, so your toes and your knees are down, your forearms are down. Feel free to roll onto the tops of your thighs. If you want, tuck your toes, press through those heels. And relax. And this time we'll just windshield wiper those legs side to side. And one more time, we're going to press up onto all fours. Go through that cow and that cat a couple times. And then take one weight behind your right leg. Actually, let's do left leg first today. And then secure it by bringing that heel nice and close to your booty, shoulders out of your ears, neutral spine. So abs are in, ribs are in, parallel position. And then you can either poke a hole in the ceiling with your toe or press a hole in the ceiling with your heel. You can alternate if you want. This is plenty for the glute, low back area. But if you wanted to add that balance element, that right arm goes up. And you can feel free to keep it there while you lift and lower your leg. Or if you prefer, you can lift and lower your arm also. and relax. Whee! Let's do that other side. So that weight will come behind your right leg. Again, you're going to secure it with that right heel close to your booty, neutral spine, abs in. Lift it up, poke a hole with your toe, or press with the heel. You are welcome to stay there, or you can add the arm for balance. And you can use the arm lifting and lowering if you want. Don't have to. Doesn't add a huge amount. It gives you kind of a little counter pull. And relax. All right, from there, we're just going to take a moment, spin over, bring your right knee into a bent knee position, stretch your left leg out. And all we'll do for a little hamstring stretch is I want you to think about engaging the quadricep to push the knee closer to the ground as you pull your left toe backwards. Sit up very tall as you do all of that. So make sure your tailbone's not scooted under you at all. And then if you want, you can place your hands on the right shin to hinge forward just a little bit for a slightly deeper sensation. And we'll switch that up. Right leg goes out, left knee comes in. Pull those glutes out so you're sitting nice and tall. And then press that right quad down by engaging those those quad muscles to press down. Try and get the back of the knee closer. Flex through the right heel. Sit nice and tall. And if that's all you need, that's fine. You get a little hinge sticking the tailbone out behind you. And then relax. We're going to pivot over onto an elbow for our side plank, just a single weight handy. As always, we are looking to protect that shoulder by pushing it back, lifting up out of it, engaging those lats and those muscles right behind us. So think back and open. And your first option, of course, is side of the thigh, all 10 toes in the air, top leg in front of the bottom, or both legs stacked. And then you can grab that single weight if you want, don't have to, and you poke a hole in the ceiling with your fingers. And then gently bring that weight onto your leg. Just hold it with 2 fingers and lift. And relax. We'll do that same side plank on the other side. So shoulder and elbow lined up. Push the shoulder back. Lift up out of it. Engage those lats. First option, side of the thigh. Second option, top leg in front or bottom. Stack them up. And then a little lift. And then you can set that weight on the top leg, hold it in place, and relax. All right. Bring your weights with you near your mat as you come back over onto your spine. Let's give that low back a moment. And then feet on the ground, and we're going to put one weight on our rib cage if our rib cage isn't fragile. Deep breath in, exhale, sink the ribs down. Other option, and you can do this right now, is to put a weight underneath your belly button where your low abs are. Might be where breakfast is, so it may not be comfortable. Sink that down. And then when you're ready, legs go tabletop. All of this stays in place, arms out, palms up, and thigh moves away from your body. Maybe it's your heel flex instead of your toe tap. Maybe it's both legs. Maybe it's both legs heel. Maybe it's both legs, toes apart, heels together. Maybe you go long lever. Could be single leg, or it could be double leg. And then we'll take a quick break because you know there's more coming. All right, you can leave one of those weights. If it was giving you good feedback, you can leave one where it was. And then the other one goes, again, to that fleshy spot below your knees where your calves calf muscles are. Arms out in a T position, nod your head, yes. Sink the abs and the ribs, and we toe touch or heel flex. That's going to be the only option because obviously it's both legs, and we're not going to go long lever with this. Because even though you're at home, I don't want you to hurt yourself. And then we'll take a quick break, feet down, palms are holding on to your weights and facing the ceiling. We'll just let those knees drop in, right leg drops in, left leg drops out, a little bit of quadricep stretch. If you wanted to, you could take your left arm with that weight and gently rest it on the outside of your right leg for an additional little stretch. And then move that out of the way, come on back up through center. Right leg drops open, left knee drops in, and bend that right elbow and gently let that weight press down on the left side. And then back up through center. And we're going to take that weight below our knees again. We're going to put a single weight in our right hand. And we're going to let the knees drop to the right and back to center. To the right and back to center. And now this time, come through center, let the knees drop left and center. And then just use that weight that's in your right hand, move it into your left, and move the weights to your left and center. The knees, sorry. And then we go through center and over to the right and center. And center we go. And relax all that. All right, we're going to take our weights and put them at our hip flexor, right there where your thighs meet your hips. Fingertips, two peace sign fingers, just hold them in place and we lift up. So here we are in a bridge. Okay, and then just a little lift and lower. If you want to, walk your ankles and knees to touch. A little more challenge there for those hamstrings. Take a break. Then we're going to move both weights onto your right hip. And again, I'm going to use a flat palm to simply hold those weights in place and lift up. And then with that, stabilize. Probably put your left hand down, bring your left knee in, point that toe to the sky. And your first option is to lift and lower here, or you can lift and lower your leg, or you can lift and lower your leg and your hips, and then they both come up. And relax. Bring that down, take a moment. We'll stretch that left hand or right hammy in a minute. Weights go to your right side, hand down, lift it up, knee in, extend it up. First option, hips up and down. Second option, leg up and down. And final option, they both go down, they both go up. And relax. All right, let's give that hamstring a moment. Stretch both legs out. Arms out, T position or cactus position, flex through those heels, pull the belly button in, tuck the hips under, and then keeping that left leg straight. You can let your legs or spine go neutral. Bring that right knee in and give it a tug in. And then stretch that right leg out. And we'll bring that left knee in, flex through the right heel as the left leg comes in. And relax. And then both weights are going in your right hand. It goes right above you. Take your left hand across your rib cage, deep breath in. On the exhale, push the ribs down as you reach your right arm overhead. Do both at the same time. Inhale back up to center. Exhale, ribs down, arm overhead. Inhale, center. Again, exhale, arm, ribs down. Inhale, center. Exhale, arm, add the ribs. Inhale, center. 2 more like that. And then we add on a little more, arm overhead, ribs down, bend, straighten, and then come up. Everything up and over, down, up. Overhead, bend, straighten, ribs stay down. Last one like that. And then our arm is going to go overhead, and you can just hold it and keep the ribs down, or you can bend and straighten. And relax. Bring your fingertips toward your head. Place your hand down, getting that nice stretch on your tricep. And then we're going to move that weight into your left hand. And again, it goes overhead, right hand across your ribs, deep breath in. On the exhale, my arm goes overhead and my ribs pull down and then back up. Exhale, arm overhead, ribs come down and back up. Two more. And then we add the bend and the straighten on the next one. And then arm overhead, you can either leave it straight, pulling the ribs down, or you can bend and straighten. Ribs stay. And relax. And then again, fingers point towards you, elbow to the sky. All right, let's bring one weight over to your right, and then the other goes behind your right leg, toward the hamstring and the calf, the belly of it, and put the dumbbell head there, if that might give you some sensation when you squeeze the leg in. And then you can rotate the ankle. If your dumbbell is fairly small and your legs don't get close together, you might not feel that as much. And then bring the middle of the dumbbell to that hamstring and pull that leg in. I'm just using the heads of the dumbbell to get there. We'll let that right leg drop to the right a little bit. Let the left leg drop open. And then bring all that back to center. And then this time you can keep that weight against the hamstring to help keep that leg up against the ribs as you flex through that right heel. And maybe we'll point and flex and rotate. And then we'll straighten that leg, point and flex. And then we're going to slide that left leg out, flex through that heel, push into the weight, and gently pull. And then press and pull. And release that. And then we're going to just gently drape that right ankle across the left thigh. You can move the weight over to your left side. And then we'll drag that left heel in, thread your needle. The more you bend your elbows, the deeper the stretch. And then we'll bring that right knee all the way over. Right hand slides under that right weight. Left arm out to the side where it can slide under the left weight. And the knees gently, gently, gently drop to the left. And back up through center we go. We're going to leave one weight over to the left. And then the other is going to come behind your left leg and hug it in. Again, I'm going to put the head of the dumbbell right up against both my calf and my hamstring, and maybe as I press down, I get a little sensation. And as I rotate that ankle, maybe I'll feel that even more. And then middle of that dumbbell comes in, leg comes back to center. And we'll go ahead and straighten out the right leg. We'll flex through that left heel, pushing the thigh down. And again, maybe some pointing and flexing, rotating side to side. And straighten out that leg. Flex through that heel, push against the dumbbell. And release that. Weight can go off to the side. Take a moment, feel the difference. And then left ankle across the right thigh. Let it pivot open. Drag the right heel in, thread your needle. And then left knee over right. Pull them up and in. If you'd like to, slide your left hand under that left weight, and knees can glide to the right. And then however makes sense to you, meet me on your hands and knees, please. And we'll undulate again through our cat and cow. And then square everything up, tuck your toes, press it up, pedal those heels out if that would feel good. And wide stance. Walk it back, bend your knees, hands on your thighs, roll cat. And inhale cow, big deep breath in. Thank you guys.